That's all I got there before we move on to the other sad news. Um, Mr. Mr. Just yeah, Dikembe Mutombo. That's unfortunately died at the age of 58 to brain cancer, which stinks. I mean, one of the great personalities of the NBA. Just everyone loved him. He had that, you know, obviously we're going to play a video about, how he talked and everything and stuff like that. But Mutombo's family revealed 2 years ago that he was undergoing treatment in Atlanta for a brain tumor and passed away surrounded by his family. Statement from Commissioner Adam Silver. Dikembe Mutombo was simply larger than life. On the court, he was one of the greatest shot blockers and defensive players in the history of the NBA. On the floor, he poured his heart and soul into helping others. There was nobody more qualified than Dikembe to serve as the NBA's first global ambassador. He was a humanitarian at his core. He loved what the game of basketball could do to make a positive impact on communities, especially in his native Democratic Republic of the Congo and across the continent of Africa. I had the privilege of traveling the world with Dikembe and seeing firsthand how his generosity and compassion uplifted people. He was always accessible at NBA events over the years with his infectious smile, deep booming voice, and signature finger wag that endeared him to basketball fans of every generation. Joel Embiid said, "It's a sad day, especially for us Africans and really the whole world, because other than what he's accomplished on the basketball court, I think he was even better off the court, and he's one of the guys that I look up to as far as having an impact, not just on the court, but off the court. He's done a lot of great things. He did a lot of great things for a lot of people. So he was a role model of mine. It's a sad day. His accolades: he was a fourth overall pick in the 1991 NBA draft of the Denver Nuggets, eight-time NBA All-Star 92, 95, 96, 97, 98, 2000, 2001, and 02. Four-time Defensive Player of the Year 95, 97, 98, 2001. Number 55 is retired by both the Atlanta Hawks and Denver Nuggets. He was inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame in 2015, was a part of the 1994 8 seed Denver Nuggets team that took out the number one Seattle Supersonics in the Western Conference playoffs. The first time an 8 seed took out a 1 seed in the NBA history. There's a Everyone knows that shot of him with the bat, with laying on the ground with a basketball here, just shouting. And so he was such a awesome dude, man.
Mhm.
It just the whole like this will is synonymous. Like this is always going to be just like one of the first taunting things, but it was so subtle yet meant everything. Jordan, there was one time where because him and Jordan always used to go back and forth each other, and he dunked on Dikembe one time and just did the finger wag back to him. He
Mm-hmm.
also and then also they just played around with each other. There was one time Jordan was at the free throw line. You can look up the video where he was like, "Hey, Dikembe," and he shut his eyes and shut the free throw and made it. They just always love to go back and forth with each other. But that's just kind of how Dikembe was. That was his personality. He was just this playful, joyful guy that just loved every day that he got to experience life, and that's what he just exudes every time he's on television. Um, Before we go into any other things about like the commercial and stuff like that, just thoughts from you all. Is there a street race going on outside your house?
Not at
Or,
the moment.
or street cleaning.
Street cleaning, something? Just
Um, but yeah, this one, like, legit, I teared up when I found out. And because, like, I walked out into the living room, dad told me. And I'm like, wait, what? And then later that day, I came out to the living room and told my dad about Pete Rose. And my dad's like, wait, what?
yeah.
So it was both of us, like, shocked each other that day about the passing of these two legends. And there's so much to speak about his on the court, but I think both Adam Silver and Joel Embiid just speaking about his off the court, him as the NBA's first global ambassador, the things that he's done for the Democratic Republic of Congo, just like his smile, his care for the world, his wanting to uplift people, all of his charities. It literally we were talking before when we talked about Pete Rose, like the player, not the person. But with Dikembe Mutombo, this is the player and the person. And yeah, it's very sad to see someone go so soon. And but I'm glad that his family was surrounding him and was
Yeah.
there for him in his final days. So that's all we can hope for is to have our family around us. So I hope there's some peace with that.
Yeah. Tushka?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I teared up on this one too because I did that on the playground all the time, man.
Mhm.
With a finger wag.
Yeah.
No, not
I'm-
today.
Yeah, if we could block a shot, man, we were definitely with.
Yeah, but we were all short. So
Yeah.
it wasn't until like high school that
Oh,
it
okay,
really
okay,
jumped different. I was like, okay, well, definitely not today, for me. But one story I heard, I believe, was whenever he was in Georgetown, is that he would go into the dorms like a party and he'd be like, "All right, who's going to sex Dikembe?" And, like, just called his shot, and that's all he had to do, because I mean he was just that big of a man on campus, and just that big of a force to reckon with, and because he did the same on the court, basically just and that's kind of almost like what it was like, who's gonna fuck with Dikembe,
Right.
in a non-sexual way, and but yeah, the back and forth with him and Jordan, I remember him, Barkley, and he came Elijah. I mean, there was just so many great kind of like storied battles that were on the court down low with him. And I think like later in his career, I remember it was just kind of, I don't know, almost kind of like seeing your heroes, kind of not become the villain, but just kind of fade, where you could just tell he just didn't have the step, he didn't have the quickness, he didn't have the jump. And people just kept kind of going past him and almost taunting him back with it. It was like,
Right.
You don't get to do that, kid.
No.
You don't get to do that. But yeah, I mean, such an incredible career. I missed it with Derrick Rose, but he played 18 years in the NBA, 1,196 games. That's insane. 11,729 total points, 12,359 rebounds. So more points than rebounds. 1,240 assists, 494 steals, and then 3,289 blocks, just alone.
Yep.
Yeah, that's where it's like I'm looking up all-time block leaders right now, because he's definitely, he's number 2. So you got Hakeem Olajuwon at 3,830, and you have him at 3,289. So just an incredible time there in the 90s to be an NBA fan. Yeah, definitely fought cancer. But Dikembe, man, just rest easy, bud. Anybody up there, you can just say, who's going to fuck Dikembe? Who's going to sex Dikembe? And you'll get it, bro. But yeah, all right, man.
He had a sense of humor, and you can see that in this clip here.
Yeah.
Anything ever happens to the guy that does the voice of Cookie Monster, I can sleep at night knowing we have Dikembe Mutombo as a backup.
And because he had such a good sense of humor, that vibrant, like I just wonder if he gets up to the pearly gates, sees Peter, then Peter does this, and he goes, "I'm just kidding, man. Come on in." And then here is the famous.
The best commercial ever.
Yeah, that, and then the office linebacker. I was like, as far as sports related. But here you go.
That's a fifth floor problem.
Not in my house. No. Not today.
Jimmy, how happy are folks who save hundreds of dollars switching to Geico?
Happier than Dikembe Mutombo blocking a shot.
Nice.
Get happy. Get Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15%.
That's so good.
Oh, those Geicos back in the day were just on top of it. With there's three little things say "we" all the way home. And he's got like the "wee." Yeah, and then Mike. Yeah.
What day is it?
Yeah.
Hump day.
Yeah. Before
makes me want to go to the grocery store and just start smacking stuff out of people's hands.
Right.
Not today.
Right.